Hello everyone. In this lesson, we are going to solve the revision worksheet questions of pre-calculus lesson. So I would like to start directly. Let's choose our pen color, which is blue. Okay, this is the first question. Which of the following statements about the angle theta is true? So this is a multiple choice question. We have four statements. One of them is true. The answer is D. Why the answer is D? Because sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 5, opposite side is 4. So 4 over 5, this is true. If you check the others, they are wrong. That's why for the first question, the answer is D. Next question, use the right triangle in the figure to find each ratio. So to find trigonometric ratios, you need all the sides of triangle. Do we know all of them? No. We know just the legs. We don't know hypotenuse, but we can find it from Pythagorean theorem. Hypotenuse is equal to, if you remember, square root of x squared plus y squared. So x is 4, y is 7. 4 squared plus 7 squared will be square root 65. It means hypotenuse is equal to square root 65. Now, what are we going to do? We will write each of them one by one. The first one is sine theta. Sine theta, by the way, guys, this is theta. This is opposite side. This is adjacent side. And hypotenuse, you know, h is the hypotenuse. So definition of sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse, which will be 7 over square root 65. Then cosine theta adjacent over hypotenuse, so 4 over square root 65. Then tangent theta opposite over adjacent, tangent is, so 7 over 4. Now number 7. Number 7 we have cosecant, and cosecant is reciprocal of sine. So just we will take the reciprocal of number 4, it will be the answer, square root 65 over 7. Similarly, number 8 is secant. Secant is reciprocal of cosine. So reciprocal of 1 over square root 65 is square root 65 over 4. Then the last one, cotangent, it is reciprocal of tangent. So reciprocal of 7 over 4, it will be 4 over 7. The next question, find the length of side H in the triangle given that angle A measures 40 degrees. So this is angle A. And the distance from C to A is 25. So what are we going to do? We will use trigonometry. If you check the triangle, you know opposite and adjacent. So it means you need to use what? Tangent. So tangent 40 degree is equal to h over 25. From the cross product, h will be 25 times tangent 40. Just a second, I will calculate it in my calculator. First of all, you need to set your mode of calculator to degree, because our angle is degree, otherwise your answer will be wrong. After you set the degree, you can write 25 times tangent 40, approximately 20.97. We can say approximately it's equal to 21. 20.97 is so close to 21. Okay, now the next question. Solve triangle ABC. So here we have four questions, 11, 12, 13, 14. And if you check out the questions, 11, 12, 13, they are similar to each other. But question 14 is a little bit different. It doesn't mean it's hard. They are all easy. So I am going to solve just 11 and 14 because 12 and 13, they are similar to 11. So let's use this triangle for question 11. I am writing here 11. They said that angle A is 40 degree. So this angle is 40 degree. And B is 10. So this is 10. And when they say solve triangle ABC, it means you should find all the interior angles and all the sides. So if this angle is 40, angle C will be from sum of interior angles 50 degree. Now we will use trigonometry to find C and A. For example, sine 40 degree is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite side is A. hypotenuse is 10, so a over 10. So from the cross product, a is equal to 10 times sine 40. And what is 10 times sine 40? I take my calculator, 10 times sine 40. 6.427, which is equal to 6.43. So A is equal to 6.43. Now I am going to find C. For C, let's use cosine 40. So cosine 40 is equal to C over, because C is the adjacent side, 10. So this time, 10 times cosine 40 is equal to C. So I take my calculator and I will calculate in the calculator. 10 times cosine 40 degree. 7.66. So C is equal to 7.66. Okay. Okay, now for question 14, I will draw the same triangle again because for the other one we wrote lots of things. We cannot use the same one. They gave me, let me write the first vertices, the angles. So this is A, this is C, and this is B. They gave me A and C. They said that A and C, they are both 3. So if they are same, it means we have isosceles triangle. So that will make these angles same. If one of them is 90, the others will be what? 45, 45. It goes together. They should give me 180. And you know, 45, 45, 90, this is a special triangle. If the leg is 3, hypotenuse will be square root 2 times 3. So this is the answer. It was easy question. Okay, our next example. From a point on level ground, so let's say this is the ground, there is a point on the ground. 145 feet from the base of a tower. So this point is 145 feet from base of a tower. So let's say this is our tower. This distance is 145 feet. The angle of elevation, you know, angle of elevation is the angle from the bottom to the top of the tower. So this is angle of elevation. It's given, they said 57.3. So I'm writing here 57.3. And the question is, how high is the tower? So they want the height. Easy question. Which sides we know? Opposite and adjacent. So we are going to write here. We will use tangent because we don't know hypotenuse. We cannot use sine and cosine. So tangent 57.3 degree is equal to h over 145. So if you use the cross product, h is equal to 145 times tangent 57.3. I take my calculator, 145 times tangent 57.3. The answer is 225.86. That's the answer. Okay, the next question. Did I click too much? No. In these questions, we will convert the angles from radian to degree or from degree to radian. So let's start with question 18. This is radian. How do we convert it to degree? We multiply by 180 degree over pi. If you want to convert from radian to degree, you should multiply by 180 over pi. So pi cancelled. 180 divided by 5 is 36. 36 times 9. You can make these calculations. In the calculator, it will be much easier and safer. The answer is 324. The next question, number 19. This time, we have 17 pi over 12 times Again, 180 over pi. So pi cancel. The other things I will calculate in the calculator. 17 times 180 divided by 12, which is equal to 255. 255. Question 19 is done. Now question 20. Negative 11 pi over 4 times same thing, 180 degree over pi. So I will cancel pi. What are we going to do in the calculator? Negative 11 times 180 divided by 4, which is equal to negative 495. By the way, these are degree. I should put the symbols. Sometimes I can forget. Okay, now question 21. This time the given angle is degree. We'll make it radian. So we will multiply by pi over 180. It's going to be reciprocal of the first way. Pi over 180 degree. So degree cancel, and 36 divided by 180. I am writing this number in the calculator without pi. It is equal to 0.2 pi. Or if you want, you can make it fraction. If you make it fraction, it will be pi over 5. You can say pi over 5 or 0.2 pi. They are the same things. The next question, 22. The angle is 220, so times pi over 180. So I will write 220 divided by 180. Then I will change it to the fraction, 11 over 9. So it means 11 pi over 9 is the answer. The last question, 23. Negative 135 degree. We multiply by pi over 180 degree. So I write in the calculator negative 135 divided by 180. Negative 0.75. If you make it fraction, negative 3 pi over 4. When you calculate these numbers, do not use pi. Just write the number parts. Then you can add the pi by yourself. Okay, I think these questions are clear. Now the other questions, let's solve them. If the terminal side of an angle of t radians in standard position passes through the point negative 2, 3, then tangent t is equal to what? Guys, for these questions, you need to remember these rules. Let's say we have a point xy. First thing is r is equal to square root x squared plus y squared. And the next thing is sine theta is equal to y over r. Cosine theta equals x over r. And the last one, tangent. You know, tangent is sine over cosine. So if you cancel r, it will be y over x. So in this question, they want tangent t. What it will be? Y over x, which is 3 over minus 2. That's the answer, just one step. Do not forget these formulas for the next questions. We will use them. Okay, if the terminal side of an angle of t radians in standard position passes through the point 6 minus 8, then cos t equals what? So what was the formula of cos t? X over r. We need to find r because x is very clear, x is 6. And what was the formula of r? R is equal to square root x squared plus y squared. So x is 6, y is negative 8, but I will write just 8 because squared will make it positive. It will be 36 plus 64, which is 100. And you know, square root 100 is equal to 10. So r is equal to 10. That's the value of r. Now let's write the final answer, x over r. x is 6, r is 10, 6 over 10, that will be 3 over 5. Okay, the next question, this time they want sine t, so I need to write the formula of sine t, which is y over r. So y is 3.5, but what is r? Like the previous question, we need to calculate it. The formula is 1.2 squared, this is 1.2 squared, plus 3.5 squared. Of course, we will make these calculations in the calculator. So in my calculator, I choose first square root, then 1.2 squared plus 3.5 squared. Also, I want to use brackets. Okay. Yeah, the answer is exactly 3.7. You write square root 1.2 square plus 3.5 square in the calculator, it will give you r as a 3.7. So in the above fraction, denominator is 3.7. 3.5 divided by 3.7. I use calculator. 0 point, let me try to make it fraction, 35 over 37, they say, okay. So they just canceled the points. They couldn't simplify these numbers because they don't have any common factor. That's the answer, 35 over 37. The next question, for these questions, you can use calculator and also you can solve them without calculator. But I will show you the way of the calculator. Firstly, in your calculator, if you check these numbers, all of them are radian, not degree. So first thing, I don't know what kind of calculator do you have, but go to the mode and make the mode of calculator radian. So in my calculator, I need to use my graph calculator, shift setup. I go to the angle and I make it red. This is the first thing. Now I can start to write these numbers. I am going to write in the calculator question 31. Also, I will do all of it. Just what am I writing? I will show it to you. I use always bracket. This is important because if you don't use bracket, maybe this two, it will be just for 47 pi or it will be just for pi. It will not affect the, use bracket so you will not make a mistake. Cosine, open a bracket, 47, then pi divided by 2. The answer is 0. Yeah. For the others, just I will write the answers. Sine, open bracket, negative 13 pi. Okay. Then, oh, again 0. This is also 0. The next one, sine 7 pi over 6. Sine, open bracket, 7 pi over 6. 7 pi over 6. Negative 0.5. Cosine 3 pi over 4, the next one, cosine 3, then shift exponent pi over 4 is equal to negative 0.707. So cosine 3 pi over 4 is equal to negative 0.707. The not last one, 35. This time tangent, open a bracket, 8, shift, and then pi, divided by 3. Negative 1 point. Negative 1.73, this is the answer of 35. Now 36, sine, open bracket, minus 7 pi over 4. It will be 0 0.707. 0 0.707. Okay, the next question. The value of cosine t is negative when the terminal side of an angle of t radians in standard position lies in which quadrants? So they are asking about when cosine is negative. You know, this is cosine in the first quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant cosine is positive. In the second and in the third quadrant cosine is negative. So the answer of this question is quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. Quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. Let me check how many pages left. Keep. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so for the other page, let's do it now, no problem. What's happened? In exercise 44-46, express as a single real number, no decimal approximations allowed. So for question 44, 45, 46, I think what are we going to do? We will use maybe the identities. Let's solve this one. Cosine 3 pi over 4 times sine 5 pi over 6. I am going to just type it in the calculator. It will give me the answer. This is what I believe. Cosine 3 pi over 4. But do not forget to use bracket for 3 pi over 4. Then times sine, open a bracket, 5 pi over 6. Then minus sine, open a bracket, 3 pi over 4. Cosine, open a bracket, what is cosine? 5 pi over 6. 5 shift pi over 6. Close the bracket. The answer is 0.258, 59. Because it says, just a second. I need to choose my pen. Okay, 0.20588. But the thing is, when you read the question, maybe you realized also, they say express as a single real number, no decimal approximations allowed. So they want the answer without decimal numbers, you know, they want the exact solution. So let's use the other way. In the other way, I do it like this. Pi is 180 divided by 4, 45. 3 times 45, 135. So this is cosine 135 degree. And the next one is 180 divided by 6. 30 times 5, 150. So this is sine 150 degree. Then 3 pi over 4. So again, what we have 135. And the last one is 5 pi over 6. So again, 150 degree. You know, cosine 135 is in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, cosine is negative. So this number is negative. And if you find its reference angle, you subtract from 180, it will be cosine 45. So negative cosine 45, which is equal to negative square root 2 over 2. You can do it also like this. You can choose the mode of your calculator. I know you didn't understand this one very well. First, make mode of your calculator degree. Oh. Then, what is the number? Cosine 135. So cosine 135. Can we make? Oh, it doesn't give. So you cannot use calculator. Or my calculator, it doesn't show me answer as a radical number. That's why you need to do it by yourself. Okay. The next one is sine 150. In the second quadrant, sine is positive. So it will be equal to sine 30. And sine 30 is 1 over 2. After this one, sine 135 is sine 45, which is square root 2 over 2. It's positive, by the way. The negative sign, it comes from the sign from here. Cosine 150 is cosine 30, and cosine 30 is square root 3 over 2. So I am going to write here square root 3 over 2. So if we multiply, it will be negative square root 2, and 2 times 3 is 6, so minus square root 6. 2 times 2, common denominator is 4. This is the final answer. Let me check the final answer. So I open my calculator and I choose a fraction minus square root 2, then minus square root 6, okay, divided by 4. Minus square root 2 minus square root 6 divided by 4. Let me see cosine is. Oh, I see it now. Yeah. Cosine 150 in the second quadrant, cosine is negative. So if you put here negative, it will be positive. So I need to make this sign positive. Okay. Let me try one more time. Delay it and make the sign positive. Okay. So the calculator says 0.2588. It is the same as the first solution we found. So this is also true. Okay, the next question, 45. Sine pi over 6 plus 1 squared. Pi over 6 is 30. Sine 30 is 1 over 2. So this is 1 over 2 plus 1 squared. Sine 1 over 2 plus 1 squared. What is it? Sine 1.5. Guys, let me write from the beginning. I couldn't write nice. Where is my pen? Eraser. Tamam. We should write nice all the time. Otherwise, we will not understand from our solution. Okay. Oh, it's... pen is... Tamam. So I erased the first question, 44. Quickly, I will write it. We said that this is cosine 135, then sine 150, then sine 135, then cosine 150. Cosine 135 is minus square root 2 over 2. Sine 50 is 1 over 2. Sine 135 is square root 2 over 2. And cosine 150 is negative square root 3 over 2. So I am writing square root 3 over 2 and negative sign. I put it here. It becomes positive. So it will be square root 6 minus square root 2 over 4. This is the answer of 44. Now question 45. We said that pi over 6 is 30. So sine 30 plus 1. Sine 30 is 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 plus 1 is 1.5. And if you square 1.25, you will get 2.25. The last one is number 46. Let's divide with the lines so you will not get confused. Sine pi over 2, which is sine 90, plus sine 0 plus cosine 0. Guys, sine 90 is 1. Sine 0 is 0. Cosine 0 is also 1. So 1 plus 1, the answer is 2. The next question, write tangent over cotangent in terms of sine and cosine, then simplify. So tangent is sine over cosine and divide by cotangent. Cotangent is cosine over sine. And you know, in the complex fractions, in the division of fractions, what we do, we write numerator first, sine over cosine, times reciprocal of denominator. So if you take reciprocal of denominator, what will happen? It's going to be sine over cosine. Okay, so when you multiply them, you will get sine squared t over cosine squared t. We can leave the answer like this. Tangent is sine over cosine, cotangent is cosine over sine. So when you take reciprocal and multiply, that will be the solution of this question. The next question, if t is between pi over 2, which is between 90 and 180, so in here they are giving you the quadrant of t. Which quadrant? Quadrant 2. All students take calculus. So in quadrant 2, sine is positive. But tangent and cosine, what are they? They are negative. So they want cosine t. It means my solution will be a negative number. Okay. Now, what is the given thing? Sine t. So in these questions, you draw a right angle triangle. You choose one angle as a t, and sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So this side is 5, this side is 13. There is a special triangle, 5, 13. This one will be 12. So cosine t is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 12 over 13. But we know that the answer should be a negative number from the quadrant. So negative 12 over 13, that's the answer of this question. This question will come in the exam. The next one, if sine minus 101 pi over 2 is equal to minus 1, then they say sine minus 105 pi over 2. So if you check these numbers, their difference is, when I am checking the angle, their difference is negative 4 pi over 2. And if we simplify negative 4 pi over 2, we will get negative 2 pi. And what is negative 2 pi? Negative 360. What do we know? If we subtract 360, it will not change the angles. And it will not change their numerical values of trigonometric functions. So if the first one is minus 1, the second one is also minus 1. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the statements are true? You can solve this question like this. You can choose something for x. For example, let's say x is 30. So in the calculator, write sine minus 30 and minus sine 30. Then see it by yourself. Are they same or not? So I am writing in my calculator. First, I am changing the mode of my calculator. Let's go shift setup. My mode is degree, so I'm ready to go. Now I can exit from here. Sine minus 30. My calculator says sine minus 30 is negative 0.5. Okay. Now I am writing negative sine 30. Negative sine 30. Negative sine 30. Again negative 0.5. So they are same. Negative 0.5. So they say which of the following statements is true? First one is true. Now the next one, cosine minus 30 equals 0.86. My calculator says 0.87. Now I am writing minus cosine 30 minus cosine 30. This is negative. Yeah, the first one is positive, 0.87. The other one is minus 0.87. So one of them is positive, one of them is negative. They are not equal. This is false. Okay, now I am checking the last one, tangent. Tangent should be also equal, but let's check. So we choose tangent, then I open a bracket, minus 30, which is equal to negative 0.57 for tangent, negative 0.57. Now I will write negative tangent 30, negative tangent. This is also a negative 0.57. So they are same. So this is also true. So the answer is 1 and 3 only. The next question. Suppose theta is a real number. Consider the right triangle with sides as shown in the figure. Then x equals 1, x equals 2, x equals 4, x equals 2 times cosine theta plus sine theta, none of the above. What is the question? It's like which one is true? Okay, I got it. I think which one is true, and which one is right. So this is a right angle triangle. We can use Pythagorean theorem. So x squared is equal to 2 sine theta squared. I will use brackets first. Plus 2 cosine theta squared. It's going to be 4 sine squared theta plus 4 cosine square theta. Guys, if you remember, we said that 1 is equal to sine square plus cosine square. So in here, sine square plus cosine square, I need to take out 4. It's going to be like this, 4 times sine square plus cosine square. It is equal to x square. So if this is 1, it will be x square will be 4. And when you take square root, x will be plus minus 2. But we will take only positive solution because it's a length. It must be a positive number. So b is true. X equals what? 2. The others are wrong. A, C, D, and none of the above. They are the wrong. This is the end of your worksheet. So goodbye. Please watch the video. If you hear me, it means you watched the video already. You can watch the video more than one time, and you can solve these questions on a paper by yourself after you watch the videos. Then you can compare your answers with the video, and you will be ready for the exam. Goodbye.